Okay, so today, as I said, is exercise 20, the last exercise. Cuboid deconstruction for sketching realistic objects. So, we start with a cube or cuboid shape, and then we deconstruct it, and from it we draw objects that look realistic. So, the entire semester we've been dealing with simple objects, I would say, and we didn't advance too much. Now, in this exercise, we will again, all the drawings, you always start with cubes, cuboids. This is a must. But we will go a step further. So we will apply the methods that we studied until now to draw a step further to realism. So we will draw a little bit more difficult objects, I would say. But they are sketches. So we will go back to the sketching methods, not the accurate drawing method. So here we are sketching, freehand sketching, okay? So we will apply these methods that we already described this semester. So we will start with cubes, cuboid shapes, as I said. We will use the division of the unit method, the method that you start with one unit and then you divide it and see where the location of another unit is in space. We will use splitting of surfaces to find location for details. We will use modifying cubes using addition subtraction, meaning we have a cube or cuboid shape and we add things to it or we take away parts from it. So we will use 2-point perspective, or you can use 1-point perspective. It doesn't really matter. You can apply this to 2-point perspective or 1-point perspective. Okay? And the homeworks, I will talk about it later. So, now, let me just check. Everything okay here? Okay. So, I will draw as an example in 2-point perspective. Okay, so we have the horizon line, we have the 2 points selected, and we start with what? What is the shape? It's a cuboid. Okay, you can start with cube, cuboid, whatever. I start with this shape. Now I will apply all of these methods that we studied before for sketching to develop some kind of an object. Okay, even I don't know exactly what it will look like because it's sketching. So you're sketching for ideas. You don't always know what you will end up with. Okay, so I started with this shape. Now I want to draw another exactly like this shape, but somewhere here in space, then another one here, then another one somewhere here. But I want 2 spaces. So this object 2 times, and the third one I will use. So we will use the, which one? Division of unit method. How did we do that in the past? Okay. So here is our first edge, the half point, and we will take it to the vanishing point. And from here, because I will divide here, I will also do the same. So here's the starting point. Now, when you do your homeworks later, you have to also apply all of these methods. You cannot leave out anything, okay? So you have to draw objects that apply all of these, okay? For practice, okay? So, here is my first edge, half point to the vanishing point. Now, from this point through this point, to see the location of the second object of this size, here. Then again, here. And then again, from this point through this point. Okay. So, this is the object that I really want, this one here, okay? This is the 2 spaces. Now, from here I will do the same. So, from this point through this point, from this point through this point. And from this point through this point. 1, 2, yeah, that's the third one. Okay. So, what we need is object number 3. This is what I decide, okay? Nobody tell me. Maybe I want to do it here, or I want to do it somewhere else, okay? This is my sketch, my idea, okay? So I decide where I want to put it. But the spaces, I use the division of the unit method, so I know exactly where it's located in space, depending on this object, the starting unit, okay? Now, from here to the vanishing points, of course, to complete the object. And here is number 3. From here to the other vanishing point. Oops. Now, the number 4 piece, which will be located again in 2 spaces from here, and 2 spaces from here, somewhere in this location, I don't need to find it, because when I extend these lines, and these lines, they will intersect and tell me where the point is. So, I will just extend the lines. Here is the location, okay? Now, we need to also complete them. So this one has a height here. So from this point to the vanishing point, again, this down, this here also down here, until where? From this point to the vanishing point. And of course, continuation to find this object here. So this will go down, and this here down. And from this point to the other vanishing point, of course. And from here down. Here, maybe we will need them, maybe don't. Okay, so I will just leave it dotted. Yeah, I just want to improve here something because I didn't get to the vanishing points correctly. One second. Okay. Set the vanishing point. We want to make it to look a little bit more presentable, so should go there. Okay. And now from this line here we said, okay, so here to the vanishing point, of course, and from this to the vanishing point. Okay. now what? Okay, what to do next? Okay, now I want to find the midpoint. The midpoint of this surface and this surface, and connect it, and then connect it here, and connect here, according to the mid surface, and here, and then I will extend this up higher. Okay, so how did we find splitting of surfaces? How do we split of surfaces? Now, when I sketch, I normally don't really do this splitting of surface. I do it in my mind. So, for example, like this, okay, and like this here. Because if you want to draw all the splitting of the surfaces, it will overcrowd the drawing too much, okay? So, either you do a very light line, okay, here and here. I will draw it for those people who don't know, okay? But normally I don't draw all the splitting of the surface. So here is the middle, okay. Let me just mark it quickly. So this is here the midpoint. Now here, where is the midpoint? I don't need to do this again, because I already have this point and this point. So to the vanishing point, okay, we will take this to the vanishing point. From the vanishing point, okay, and it will already tell us. So I can start here, I can start here, I can start anywhere, okay, and then find the rest. So, this will go down also. And of course this should go to the vanishing point. Now, here we do the same thing, splitting of the surfaces. So I can start anywhere. I can start on this one. It's the same thing. So if I start here, so splitting of the surface. Where is the midpoint? The rest, so here is the midpoint. This is what I want in my drawing. So I will take it now to the vanishing point. And the bottom point also to the vanishing point. So here down, okay. Now, I need to do the same thing here and to connect the midpoints. So, the same thing. So, where is here the midpoint? Here, here. So, it's here. Okay? And so, either this one or on this one to the vanishing point. And here, of course, it's behind, so we won't see it. Here, the same thing. Splitting of surface. So here is the midpoint. And to the vanishing point. We'll go down here and connect. Okay. So, okay, this is the first step. Now, I want to, I said, make this part here that I just draw higher. So not on the same level like here. Okay, no problem. We will extend lines up. And here lines up. Now, the height, because this is a sketch, I can base it on something, but I can also make it freehand. Like I choose the height that I think I want for this sketch. If I don't like it, we can delete and put another height. So I will choose it freehand because it's a fast sketch. So how high shall we make it? Okay, let me delete this line so we don't get here confused by them. These lines we don't need here. Okay, so the height I will choose from here, and I will connect. Or let's make it lower a little bit. Let's make it lower, like this. This is totally my choice. I'm just sketching here something. Okay, now I choose the first one. The rest will be based on this height. So this goes to the vanishing point. It should go to the vanishing point. Now the rest I will find from this. So from this point to the vanishing point, and from this point to the vanishing point. And from this point here to the vanishing point. And this one to the vanishing point. Okay. And then we will connect here also, or from here to the vanishing point. From here to the vanishing point, and again, and here these need to be also connected. Let me delete this line here. This was a construction line, and this should go also to the vanishing point, of course. This point and this point should connect. And they should go to the vanishing point, if the drawing is correct, of course. Now, so this here we will still see at the back for now. These lines that were higher, we can delete them. We don't need that high. Just not to overcrowd the drawing with lines. If you draw on the paper, it's okay to have a lot of lines, but here it will get too overcrowded, so we need to delete them. Okay, and this line even, I don't need. So, even this line here, I don't need it. So it's basically, all of this will be, this is the height I want. This is here hidden. This is here the height I want, so this line I don't need it here. And this will be hidden. Okay, and this is the line here. I don't need this line, but I need this line here. So, we have this kind of object, if you notice here, going around, and it is at a height. Now this height, as I said, it's free. I choose it the way I want, according to my idea. Okay. Oh, this one we need. Okay. This one we need. This is the one we don't need. Okay, now what to do next? This is here, something we don't need. Okay. Actually, all of these objects will be hidden. Okay. Now what to do? Okay. Here we will put circles now. Okay. How do we put circles? We need a square surface. This is a square surface. Okay. So we can put circle in it. How? Okay. Diagonal. Diagonal. Then these two lines need to pass through this center point and go to the vanishing point. Okay, so we will take it to the vanishing point, and we will take it from here to the vanishing point through the center point. Now, of course, we have to extend it here to find it where it's going to be located in this area. Here also we will have diagonals. Okay, let me draw all of them. So here is the center point, and from here also to the vanishing point. So we have now 1, 2, 3, 4 points. Okay. So now I will draw the circle. Yeah, but first of all, let me put some thickness on this, because I don't want the circle to be exactly on the edge. So let's put a thickness. Now this thickness of this surface, this is free. Again, I choose if I want it thicker, thinner. Okay. Okay. Maybe like this. And of course, these lines go to the vanishing points. Okay. Now I will draw the circle. Here is the points that I want, where it will intersect. The circle has to touch the 4 points, remember? And I will draw a second circle here because it has a thickness, we said. And the thickness will be with the circle. But first we did the thickness with the square. Okay. Now, I will take this down. Now here, we should do the same thing, okay? So we can take this down immediately. The best thing to do, if you want to draw something like that, is to actually draw the square surfaces again, okay? Not to put this down and then draw me like this a line. It will not work. You need to draw all of the steps, the diagonals, everything. I will draw it very fast because of the overcrowding here. So, we will have here a second circle inside. So this circle here will have the same points. Where is the touching points? This one here, this here, point, point, and point. So we draw the circle. And it will go the other way around. I will not draw this fully. So all of the steps have to be redrawn here. Of course, this small circle here, we will not see it because we are looking here at an opening. It will be an opening. Okay, so I will leave it. Now, here the same thing. So we have point 1, point 2, 3, 4. This will be hidden here. And of course, it will have the same thickness, so we should have a smaller square here. How do we know the smaller square? From here. Here is our line, we take it. Okay, so it's going to be located here. This line from here, we take it, see where it's going to be located. Then to the vanishing points. Okay, and we will find the location here, and we will draw this smaller circle inside. I'm skipping some steps, as I said. Not every single step. But you already know, in general, how to do this. So, here in the bottom surface, there will be another square, again the same steps. So here is the point down. I will do it very quickly. So here, this is here continuing at the back. This is here, continue down. Now, here we will do the same thing. Diagonal, diagonal, center point, here. Then from this point, now we already did it once here, we don't have to do it a second time. And through the center point to the other vanishing point. And once we do it here, we don't need to do it over there. It's going to be continuation of this. And from this line, here. Okay. Now, let me draw the circle. What is the problem? Why is everyone moving, making noises? From here down. Of course, all the steps have to be repeated, so here is the point, here is the point. I will do it very quick here again. This will be hidden here at the back. Okay. And here the same thing will happen. So we will have the 4 points and we will draw the entire circle. And with the thickness and so on. Okay. Now what to do? What's the next step? So we have this height, this here, objects, okay. This one we don't need it. Okay, this one we don't need. Now let me find the center point of this surface here, because we might do something here at the center coming up. So, where is the center point? Continuation. So this point here, this point here, this here, and this continue here. So we will draw diagonals. From this point to this point, here, the diagonal, and then from this point to this point. So here is the center. The center of what? Of this surface here, the upper surface, okay? Okay, let me take this to the vanishing point. Let me see it from a distance because it's not visible what's going on. Okay. And again, from this point to the vanishing point. So here is the center of this surface. To the vanishing. So here the center. Okay. Now, if I want to again split this surface again, because I want detail here and detail here, or I can just estimate it, but it's advisable to split it again. So again, through this point and this point, very quickly, and from this point to this point, where is it going to be located? Here. So here is the point that we need. Here again, you split from here and find the center, okay? So this is something I need. If I need to split more, again, I will split, okay? Now, to the vanishing point, I will take this. So, or I will leave the center point. Yeah, I will split this surface here again, so to find this point, and this surface that will result, again, we will split it to find this point, because it's too big. Okay, then I will take to the vanishing point. So this is here something I will need for the object later. Now, this surface, split again to find, okay, where is this point going to touch? Here somewhere, okay? And this point from this here, it's going to touch somewhere here, okay? So this, and then if I split again from here to here, this distance and this distance, so there is a surface here, we will split it. So this is the object that I want, this here. Okay. This one here. Yeah, okay, so this object is what I want, but not now. This one I will take up for later. This up, this up here. From where? From here, yeah, from here up. And from here up. So this is later I will need it. So just for us not to remove. Now we will deconstruct these surfaces. This here object later I will do something with it. But now I will deconstruct this. So here we have a circle. This square is just for construction. The fact is I need the circle. And this here, edge, I don't need the edge. I need this surface here, this edge of the circle. But we have to do it straight before we can deconstruct it. So this now will become continuation of this circle. Of course, the lower surface is here. We don't need it. So this will disappear. Okay? And the same thing will happen here. So this here, if you notice, this is part of a square. So I'm really drawing half a circle. Half a circle. Okay? And here the same thing. And here the same thing. And of course here it will have the same, and here it will have the same, and here the same thing, and here the same. Okay. Okay. Now, what else shall we do here? Okay, so now I will do the following. So I will extend this surface more up. Again, this is free, it's my choice, I'm sketching here. And then I will connect this with this point at the back. And this here, wherever, okay, so from here to the vanishing point to see this point location where it's going to be. Definitely we have to do this. And I connected this with this point, so this point with this point. But I don't want to keep it straight. I want to now do the curves, okay? So, we did it straight. Now, it's going to become a curve. From where? That's up to me again. So I want to start here. Connect it to this point, and then all the way down to here. And from this point, connect to this point, all the way down. So, to this point actually here. And we will connect it all the way down to here. Now, I'm sketching. You will not repeat this. You will draw your own. Don't worry. So, now these straight lines, it will not stay straight, okay? They were straight in the beginning. Now we made these curves that go and touch these points like this. Now this line here will become a curve too. I want to do it this way. It doesn't have to be. So this line, from this point to this point, and this point here, this point will become a curve. Okay. Now here I will extend it further a bit. Let me see what's going on here. Oh, okay. Now this here curve, when I do it, from this point, which is the center, we need to be very careful because it needs to go carefully through the center. So, now I'm skipping some steps. You need to do this fair straight, just to be very precise. But it's a sketch, so as long as I find this. So this is here a center that I know. If I take a straight line where it will touch here, then we will draw the curve and we will continue down. Okay. Okay, what else will happen here? Now here at the back, I will just make a small curve, not a big. Okay, this will go up. Now, we will continue. What shall we do now here with this object? So this will go this way. Okay, here we will have other, so this here is a curve that goes this way and this way. We can either leave it as it is, or we can, where is the center point here? So here is the center line, here up, so it will touch here, and here up it will touch here. So, and from here it will have a curve that goes towards this point. Now this here we can keep it straight, okay? So it will be straight. Now, these 4 points that I located before I started putting all these curves, we need to locate things, because later you will not be able to exactly find them. Now, this center point is now this point. So if you put a straight line up, it's here. So these points will be up here, up here, up here, and where is this one? Up here. So it will be now located here, but on a curved surface. So we need to be a bit careful with this, how it's going to look like. So this is here something straight connected, but on this surface it becomes a curve. So this is here the problem, that's why you need to locate it first on the surface that is straight. Then put it up. So here, this one we wanted to put up. Let's continue up. Up. This here we don't need anymore. Now, what do we do with this object here? Now this will become a curve. So this is here, it should be a square surface. That will become a curve. Now before I do the curve, the circle, in this one, let me just draw the square. So to the vanishing point, what is the height that I want, okay? What is the height that we need? This one from the back, and this one here. Okay, so what is the height? That's something I decide. So to the vanishing point, to the vanishing point, again to the vanishing point, and to the vanishing point. Okay, so here, again, diagonals, all the steps, okay, and then we will draw the other curve, a circle, and we will connect. So this is here not what we need, we actually need the circle. Okay. So the circle is what we need. Now here's the square, let me not delete it fully because we might need it. Okay. Now what to do? What can we do with this object? Okay. We will put something else here on top. Now, of course, we need to find first. You see the straight line here, the red one, and the straight line from here. So it's better to find the location here and then put it up. So let me just not make a mistake. So we have here this line that go, okay. This line here that we need, and this line, let me draw it with red. So this is the line before it became a curve, okay? Where is this line before it became a curve? This line and this line here. And the center line of this, whoops. Okay, so the center line of this one here, okay? And this line cross here. And this is actually the line we need. So this is here the line that we need. Okay. So from this line here, I can now draw another object. Now from here we will put it up. Of course, to the vanishing point. Now the height again, I choose it to the vanishing point. To the vanishing point. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. Now I will put it a thickness. So let me put up here more. What height shall we choose for it? It's again a freehand. So I will choose this height. This height is fine. To the vanishing point. And again to the vanishing point. And to the vanishing point. Now if I see, for example, okay, this is too thick, I can always make this circle smaller by again drawing a square, of course. So I see this is too much, okay? You can make it smaller. Even freehand, because I already have a guideline, okay? So I think this is not okay, I can make it thinner. This is details. Now here, in this object, what do I want to do? So we have here, let me make it more stronger, this part. This goes underneath, okay, somewhere. Now, let's say, okay, I want to have, okay, diagonal here, center point here, going to the vanishing point. I want to have here a circle. And here the same thing, diagonal, center point, straight line, this go to the vanishing point, we will draw a circle. And then connect. And then the same thing here I want to do, so I will draw another circle. So half point of this surface, half point of this surface, half point of this, half point of this, and we have another circle that we can draw here. Okay, now what to do next? Okay, we can do a lot of things. Why is this here looking weird? This here, should we extend it? Okay. And this here, we already deleted it from the back. Okay. Not to delete it by mistake. Okay. Okay. This is here a curve, by the way, depending on the curve. Okay, so if these are curves here, we have to be a little careful because it transforms into two lines, we said. And this is a small, like, curve that becomes a larger curve. Okay, so the lines will become more further away from each other. Okay. So here, if I put another small curve, this will become two lines. instead of one line. I don't like these straight lines, so I'm giving it curves. Now this object here I don't like. I want to do something else with it. So this is here the connection between the two circles. And here we have this. Okay. Now let's extend something from here, but going to the vanishing point, of course. There will be another circle here after we draw the square, of course. Another circle. I just got to be more careful. So this here point, the same rotation. From this center through this center, we put a line out. Vanishing point, okay, and we can keep modifying this. Okay, there is other things we can do here. So now here we have these points. We can do something. We can draw smaller circles. And we can make it something that looks like it's flying very quickly, you know. So we can keep on modifying. Okay, this straight line here. Where's the center? This goes to the other way. The other direction, okay. And continue modifying this object. Center. And so on. Okay, that's enough, I think. So that's the idea. Okay. Now, let me close this. Oh, before I close it, let me explain the homework first. So, homework. 2 sheets. Let me reduce this here. One perspective view. So, 2 sheets. So you have 2 Fabriano sheets. On each sheet, you will draw an object using all those sketching methods that we learned before, and sketch an object. Not this one, something from your mind, but with a lot of details. Okay? It must have a lot of details, and it must look realistic. So it doesn't matter what it is. It can be a fantasy object. But it must have a lot of details and try to make it as realistic as possible. So when you start, how did we start? With a cuboid here. Then I divided it, used the division of the unit method. Then I started adding things. Then I started modifying things, changing the straight lines into curves, and more details until we end up with some kind of a final object. Okay? But you will end up with, I don't know. So you will have to sketch and to draw, but with details. On the paper it will look more beautiful because you can draw fine lines, and all these construction lines, don't delete them. So you need to start drawing very light lines. After that, if you're sure I want this, you darken it, okay? Now, 2 sheets, 2 objects. Okay, on each sheet Be careful, don't make it too small. You have all the sheet space, you make a horizon line. The vanishing points can be outside of the line, remember, okay? And the object can be bigger, okay, so that we can see details. So one object per sheet, and you can use 2-point perspective, this is 2-point perspective, or 1-point perspective. So you can draw in this method or this method, correct. Then, another sheet. Use the isometric drawing of your model, copy it on tracing paper and modify cubes. What is this? Actually, this exercise you should do before this, because this is like a small training for it. So what do you need to do? The drawing of your model, the model in isometric, the 30-30 degree, you will take it and you will copy it using, you see this paper? This is tracing paper. So let me see here, for example. So if you have something at the back and you put it, see, you can see it, okay? So you will buy this tracing paper and you will put it on top of the isometric drawing of your model and start modifying the cubes, changing the cubes. Like this student here ended up with this object. It's not amazing, but it's a training, okay? So this was the model, the cubes, and it became something different. Even here we have curves, you can see. So there is a lot of changes happening. So you need to modify your model. And this is started with the isometric drawing. Be careful, okay? You put this on top and you start modifying, changing the cubes into other shapes. After that you will draw this because this is a bit more complicated, okay? Yeah, 2 sheets of this and 1 sheet of this. Okay, so this is it.